Hello, my name is Betsy Cooper. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Kitsap. The League of Women Voters does not support or oppose candidates, but rather works to provide information about the candidates and the issues before the voters. We are interviewing the North Kitsap School Board District 3 candidates that will appear on your ballot, which you should be receiving in the mail about mid-October. We are asking 5 questions, and the candidates will have 90 seconds to answer each question. Let's get to know Timothy Rovik. Tim, you have 90 seconds to introduce yourself and to tell us why you chose to run for the office of North Kitsap School District, District 3.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Betsy and Michelle. It's a privilege and an honor to be on TV. So this is really helpful. I appreciate the opportunity. As you have said, my name is Tim Rovik, and running for position number 3 of North Kitsap School Board. I'm running because I really care about students. I love students. I have 4 grandkids right now in the public schools at North Kitsap. They're bilingual. My adult children, 3 of them went to North Kitsap schools many years ago. So I'm involved in schools. We have been involved in their lives and now our grandkids' lives. I want to see kids succeed. I'd like to see them do better. We know that scores are down, but I want to see kids flourish and succeed in an environment where the basics are taught, reading, writing, and math. Focusing on those basics, getting those under our belts, and achieving success with our children. What happens now will determine 5 and 10 years from now in their lives. So that's why I'm running. I have a passion to see kids do well and to succeed, first in academics and then in relationships. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. All right, now for our first question. The role of public school district boards of directors is to govern by setting policies and making decisions that shape the education of students. What are some of the key responsibilities of a school director that support successful governance of a public school system?
Good question. Thank you. First of all, the board is responsible for hiring and evaluating and collaborating with the district superintendent. Also, the board is a liaison between local, state, and federal government entities. We speak to them, find out what their needs are and what our needs are. We're also a liaison between the school district and the community. It's important that we hear from the community. We need to be listeners to what their needs are. And so we are there to be an advocate for our children to the community. We need to hear from the community as well. Also, students, the board is there to monitor student achievement and success. We need to see how they're doing with all the programs and the classes that they're offered and see what's working and what isn't working. So we're there to monitor the achievement of students. Lastly, we're there to ensure equal access to all resources for all students.
Okay, thank you. On to question 2. A district's annual budget shows the board's commitment towards fulfilling the goals of the instructional program and providing for efficient and effective operation of the district. Regarding the district's budget process, what strategies do you suggest to address any deficits faced in the future, especially relating to declines in student enrollment or loss of federal funding?
There has been a renewed discussion nationwide of cutting back on education, and apparently North Kitsap will lose in the 26-27 school year about $100 million. And so in federal funding. And so we have our hands full trying to balance a budget. I think one of the things that I would like to implement is to research why there has been a decline in student population. There's been approximately about 200 student loss in the last 4 years in North Kitsap, and that's dollars that we're losing. Around $18,000 per student is lost when we lose students. I like to research what's causing the number decline in public education. Also, what we might need to do is look at staffing, seeing if there's issues that we can do to reduce staffing, but not willingly. But we know attrition and retirement, things like that, have allowed a buffer with our budget issues. And I think the bottom line question is, what sacrifices do we need to make, whether students or staff, for the success of students? It won't be easy when we talk about sacrifices.
No. Thank you. On to question 3. The National Education Association has stated support for school libraries, and in recent years, many books have become considered controversial. How do school boards navigate the concerns of parents, teachers, librarians, and students regarding sensitive content?
So what I have learned from reading this question is that there's a central librarian in North Kitsap School District that reviews and selects books for the library. Now, we know that this book banning has become a national hot potato. And from what I've learned, a student or a parent or a teacher can file a complaint with a librarian. And that would lead to informal reconsideration by the librarian. If that particular process doesn't work, that can go to a formal request to the Instructional Materials Committee. And that's made up of community members, professionals, teachers, to look at the material and see if it follows guidelines, appropriate guidelines, if it has true value, true educational value, if it's based on truth and not just on fiction, et cetera. And then they make a final decision, this committee, in terms of that book's value in that library or in the curriculum. The challenging parties are then notified by the superintendent once this committee makes their final review. But the bottom line for me is freedom of conscience, and there should be an opt-out program for that if people are not happy with a book.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
On to question 4. Local levies and bond funding are indispensable for North Kitsap School District and other districts across the state. Levies provide critical resources for day-to-day operations and enrichment and educational experience, while bonds are critical for building and maintaining school facilities. If elected to the board of directors, how would you engage with community members, providing transparent information regarding these initiatives and foster trust that is essential to the successful outcome of any levy or bond election?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. From what I gather, 16% of our budget for schools is from levies. Educational programs and operations provide for athletics, health, extracurricular activities. And I think the bottom line for this discussion on being transparent and asking for dollars and levies is to show the need. What is the need that we have that's really a genuine need? Some things may or may not be genuine. And I think the board needs to work through those difficult issues of what is actually needed for the school district. before we put a levy out to vote for the public. I think that issues like that can be done through newsletters, social media, and board website. All those things can be ways for the public to be informed about the need for increased funding. It needs to be transparent and it needs to be genuine. And I think the question that we need to ask too is the money that we're asking for a good investment, a good return based on what's happening in the schools today? When grades are mediocre, is the public going to be more or less excited about shelling out more money with levies and bonds? So those are important issues. I think there is a relationship there.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Our final question. What strategies would you employ to foster a positive and inclusive school climate where diversity is celebrated and all students feel safe and respected?
I would like to first make sure that all cultures are respected equally, and that there's no culture that's better than another, that they're all respected equally. Culture is people, the habits of people have from different countries, the way they think, the way they do things. Those need to be respected. And I think to make that happen, I think presentations in the classroom and curriculum, sharing these issues of culture through presentations, classroom presentations, curriculum, are ways in which students can learn and to respect other cultures that might be foreign to them. I have grandkids that are from another culture, and we learn a lot just by living with them, by having them here in our area. And secondly, I think for all students to feel safe and respected, I think the faculty and staff needs to foster an atmosphere of open dialogue and freedom of expression without discrimination or penalty. I think that's so important because there's a lot of different controversies now, but I think it's very important that students feel that they have a right to express themselves without penalizing or discrimination with their views and values. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you to Timothy Rovik for running for office and sharing your views. I'm Betsy Cooper on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Kitsap. Thank you for watching, and please share this video. I also want to, I want to ask if you would like to help the League do this work. Consider joining the League of Women Voters at lwv.org. Don't forget to return that ballot by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 4th.